Hello, my name is Russell Myers. Welcome to Issues Unite. There have been some, let's say, interesting things going on with U.S. banks of late. Now, I'm going to say right up front that the channel Redacted on YouTube did an episode on this, but I'm going to make some observations that they did not make. Anyway, so, and their report, they were showing videos of people at ATMs trying to withdraw money, and they could not withdraw money from their accounts. People in a bank lobby, a small crowd of people that were trying to withdraw money from the bank, and the bank refused to let them have their own money. In addition, there's been a rising incidence of such as if you get direct deposit into your account, that not all of the money shows up right away. It takes some portion of it may show up, but then it takes days before the rest of it shows up. By the way, I had that happen to me years ago with Wells Fargo. And it just happened to be right around the 2009-2010 time frame. The videos that were being shown were not at some small bank. This was like a Bank of America, and with the people in the lobby. I don't know where the ATM was. I didn't notice. It may have been a different bank, but something people Redacted did talk about. And I have brought this up in videos in the past. The Dodd-Frank bill included something that was called a bail-in. You know what a bail-out is? That if a bank is, in risk of failing, that the government steps in and bails them out with your tax dollars. But a bail-in is a different situation. That is, if the bank is at risk of failing, the bank can seize your deposits. Doesn't matter how much it is. If all of the banks in the country did fail, which would be a domino effect because they are so interconnected, then the FDIC is not able to cover all of the bank deposits in this country. All right, so yes, this has happened in a number of places, most notably in Cyprus some years ago, where the banks were seizing people's deposits because the bank was going to fail. The banks were going to fail. So the bail-in provision does still remain as a law in the United States. The banks, if the banks are at risk of failing, they have the right to seize your deposits. Now, this does come at an interesting time. The Treasury is actually reducing the amount of physical money that is in circulation. So this could be some part of that, but the banks should still be able to, hand out money for you cashing your paycheck or whatever. They should be able to transfer money between banks. Okay? This location is actually out of physical money, cash. They could tell their customers this and say, well, go down here to this other Bank of America or whatever, and they will be able to help you. But there's also a lot of discussion about the formation of central bank digital currencies, which, by the way, would completely, if that happened, that would bypass all of the bank locations. Your bank account for a central bank digital currency would be directly with the Federal Reserve. And the problem with that is that the Federal Reserve or the government, for whatever reason, would have the ability to just freeze your assets, to take everything that you've got. Why? Maybe you posted a video online that they don't like. We're getting to that point. We are getting to that point. We are just millimeters away right now. The habeas corpus has never been reinstated since Obama suspended the right of habeas corpus. You can be arrested, picked up, called a terrorist for anything that the government doesn't like. I could be picked up for making this video or for any of my videos reporting on the Ukraine conflict, saying that I do not support this. Yeah, I could be considered a terrorist. These things have happened before in U.S. history. Go back and look at Eugene V. Debs, a socialist presidential candidate in the early 20th century. He spoke out against the United States involvement in the First World War, and he was declared guilty of treason and spent time in prison because of it. Now, I have mentioned in previous videos also that American savings are that are being held in banks, at least, are at the lowest level that they have ever been since the government started tracking this at roughly, 2.5% of U.S. deposits are in savings. And meanwhile, the inflation is up, but this could be a sign that people are taking money out of the banks in large sums and stashing physical cash because they are afraid of the banks just freezing up. And what would it take for the banks to do that? When you really think about it, there's absolutely nothing stopping the banks from issuing currency, hard currency. They could do it just because they want to. There is absolutely nothing from stopping them from locking the doors, shutting off the ATMs, or not recognizing consumer purchases. If the stock market crashes, as in 1929, there could be a run on the banks. If the value of the dollar suddenly plunges against other currencies, which, considering the rise of BRICS, is a distinct possibility, there could be a run on the banks. I don't really advise, well, stashing currency, I don't necessarily find it to be a bad thing, but for years now, I have been advising people to instead invest in things like physical precious metals, which, if the value of the dollar does suddenly collapse, the paper money that you've got in your pocket is going to be confetti. It's worth no more than monopoly money in extreme circumstances. Just like Weimar Germany happened in the 1920s, I believe. I don't remember the exact year, but you look at other countries that have had runaway hyperinflation of over 1,000%, sometimes over 10,000%. Their currency is worthless. It's completely worthless. So, but if you've got physical precious metals, these are traded internationally. That is how their value is supposed to be established. Never mind that many U.S. banks manipulate the value of hard currency, of precious metals, silver, gold, etc. But it would still have more value than paper money would. And if the value of the dollar collapses, then that would be a good method of trade and consumer purchasing if necessary. Is there a bank failure coming? Are there bank failures coming at this point? We don't know. There is no way, even if the banks and the government know it's coming, if it was going to happen tomorrow, do you think that they're going to announce it in advance? They're not going to tell you. You will not know until it happens. That is when you will know about it, not until. So, is this coming? There's the very strong possibility of it. So, if you've got money in the bank, I would advise withdrawing some of it and keeping it in a safe, secure location. If you can afford to invest in precious metals, I would advise that more. So these are things to think about. Anyway, share this video, talk about these subjects. If you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this channel and my presidential campaign, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a good day.